I'm Darwin, the reincarnation of Charles Darwin himself. Visible confusion. Would you be attractive in ancient Greece? Must have a lean muscular body. Must have a symmetrical face. Must have a small penis. Must have a smooth youthful face and be well groomed. Dutch merchants. Tulips and actually worth the price of 3 houses. I have to go make a call. American GIs in World War II when the jazz on their radio starts to blame American Jews for orchestrating the war. Point of view, you're the Ottoman Empire in the 18th century. Stalin abandons his eldest son to die in a Nazi concentration camp and sends his daughter's boyfriend to Siberia while his last son becomes an alcoholic and dies. Soviet propaganda. Renaissance philosophers. The age of the ancient Romans and Greeks was the height of human enlightenment and civilization. Ancient Greek and Roman philosophers during their age. Societal decline. Societal decline everywhere. Everyone look at me. Centaur of attention. New fruit gets discovered. Bites into it. This is disgusting. The guy who figured out to take the skin/peel etc. off first. Good day gentlemen. I'm here to change the future. Elizabeth I and her court watching a performance of Hamlet. Wait, is this ducking play about us? The first Czechoslovak Republic realizing Germans outnumber Slovaks and deciding to lump them in with Czechs so they can make Czechoslovaks look more numerous on the 1921 census. I'm gonna do what's called a pro-gamer move. I want to live. 3rd century Roman generals. Their armies declaring them emperor. I want to live. Karl Marx. Capital is dead labor, which vampire-like lives only by sucking live labor. Henriette Pressburg. Karl Marx's mom. Carol, if only you made capital instead of just writing about it. Sir, Archimedes refused to acknowledge Rome's victory, so I killed him. You what? If George Washington existed today he'd be a Democrat. No he wouldn't. He'd be a Republican. George Washington if he existed today. Your submission has been removed for breaking Rule 3. Discrimination and abuse. Any excessive Shrexism, homophobia, racism or any other form of discrimination will be dealt with harshly, and mods reserve the rights to impose bans without warning. Basically try not to be jerks. Being a socialist, pro-women's rights, and abolitionist that criticize Lincoln for being too moderate on slavery. Being supported by the Democrats for president in 1872 because he wasn't Grant. Horse Greeley. Ex-President Benjamin Harrison in 1900. You can't tariff Puerto Rico. It's literally a part of this country. This is completely unconstitutional. President William McKinley. You are accused of treason and anti-republican behavior. This court finds you guilty and sentences you to be incessantly roasted by the Republican press. Caesar guy performs straight up sorcery. Betrays him. Was Judas retarded? Even on the off chance he wasn't the son of God you're still messing with some high level wizard. Hello. Or, you're sweet. Holla. Hello. Human Resources. California Law 1986 English official language. The president can't influence the economy. In Dahas, my brother, I've decided to search for more food in the waters. You will regret this, because the environment will force you to adapt. I just need some shrimps lol I will be perfectly fine. 35 million years later. Hey bro I'm back. We was bogs. Got any girls bro? What the duck? Innocent people. Me. Weird history facts. European royalty and nobility for centuries when choosing a spouse to marry. It's only good when they are blood related. The Holy Roman Empire was actually Germany. Or, you're sweet. The Byzantine Empire was actually Greece. Hello. Human Resources. Provence, southern France, August 15, 1944. Oh no, the French are invading France. Jew living in pagan nations? Pagan drones attack. Jews living in Christian nations. Christian drones attack. Jews living in Muslim nations. Muslim drones attack. Or, what a cute bear. Wouldn't hurt a fly. I sure wonder how it came to the zoo. Those damn Chinese bastards. Get to the bunker, boys. It's an artillery attack. What the hell is that noise? Countries who abstained from UN Resolution 1514. France, UK, USA, Australia and South Africa, Spain and Portugal, Dominican Republic. Hitler invading Poland. Hitler invading France. Hitler invading the Soviet Union. Soviet propaganda, we were good guys. We saved Europe from Nazism. Meanwhile, Soviets and Nazi before 1941. Europe. The English Armada. Francis Drake and Queen Elizabeth. Decking on Spain. Let's go. In and out. 20-minute adventure. The fleet got sunk. Japan against China. Japan against Poland. 30% of Vietnam vets have PTSD. 30% of Vietnam vets have diagnosed PTSD. When Stalin took a year to kill 3 million, but you managed to kill 45 million in 5 years. I'm speed. Phalaris was so disgusted by the brazen bull that he ordered the inventor to be the first victim. Brazen bull torture device. Phalaris, the tyrant of Acragus, Sicily. Okay, get in. If the Vatican is so good, why isn't there a Vatican II? Napoleon crowing himself emperor. What makes you think you can be an officer in the Swiss army? I once commanded a regiment of another nation's army in battle. Yeah. So, it was the 82nd Illinois Infantry Regiment of the Union Army at the Battle of Gettysburg. Right this way, Major. Anytime Thomas Edison was accused of stealing an invention, I didn't steal your idea, I discovered it. The conquistadors discovering Aztec human sacrifice. Average dope smoker. Average meth user. Point of view. You are Belgium in 1914. German invasion of Belgium, 1914. The German Empire declared war on the Kingdom of Belgium. Point of view. You are Belgium in 1940. German invasion of Belgium, 1940. The German Reich declared war on Belgium. No way they can transport supplies over this rough terrain. Supplies transported on bicycle. No way they can get heavy weapons to these high mountains. Artillery pulled up the mountains. But, my base should be impenetrable. Here, you forgot this flag. The Normans called the area they settled in Normannia Land of the Norse. Northmen. Yes, they retained their Norse culture. True, their invasion of England was led by William the Conqueror, who was a direct descendant of Rollo, who was a Viking from Scandinavia. Correct. So, the Norman conquest of England shouldn't be viewed as a French conquest. We French conquered England. England belongs to France. We surrender. You surrender. Father's trophy room. I wonder what I can play with. Grrrr bark 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 bark. Good lord. Great Drusus. Thanks for visiting this humble outpost. But why do you come back from your campaign so early? You got so much victory at there. Few months ago. You end is near. Young Drusus. If you see two fish fighting in water, you can be sure an Englishman passed by 5 minutes ago. We don't know if Crown Prince is alive or not before we open this rice cheat. My lord father. Shut up. British India in 1947. Let's split up, gang. One day, someone will think about you for the last time in eternity. You will be forgotten by the world and the universe. Not if I steal George Washington's skull. Rome. Basic rules of society. Basic rules of the Hells Angels, an outlaw motorcycle club. El Salvador, puppet state of Manchukuo, international recognition in exchange for buying coffee. 4 people dying from Kuru, Australians colonial government banning cannibalism. When I hear the phrase men don't start drama. You sure this will work? Yeah. Using a screwdriver as a tool to hold up a very unstable nuclear object won't end up causing anything wacky or uncharacteristic. Living off the land. Looting. Soviet propaganda posters. Soviet Union. Trade offer. You get. We get. Austrians thinking they're fighting the Ottomans. Austrians thinking they're fighting the Ottomans. The Ottomans who arrived days later, wondering why the Austrians' camps were empty and why hundreds of Austrian troops lay dead or injured. Germany, I invented the hamburger. United States, unfortunately for you, history will not see it that way. Albigensian Crusade. Crusader, Abbot. How do we tell the Catholics from the Cathars? Arnold Amalric. Kill them all. Let God sort them out. When you see someone complying and wanting history memes that aren't political. Propaganda, genocide, corruption, nuclear arsenal, food shortage. The Soviet Union. Point of view, you're in the Canadian prairies in the 1890s going to visit your new neighbors. The 3 shogunates of Japan. Kamakura Shogunate, Ashikaga Shogunate, Tokugawa Shogunate. George H.W. Bush was excellent at foreign policy and a skilled diplomat who oversaw end of Cold War. But what about Chicken Kyiv speech? De Las Casas. You can't judge historical figures by modern standards. Christopher Columbus was horrible even by old standards. Belisarius sending his bath slave at the Persian army and watching him kill 2 of their champions in duels. Duels in most of the world. Let's duel with swords or pistols. Duels in Southeast Asia. Elephant duel. Let's ducking go. The Holy Spirit can't reach us, so unless you did something ridiculous like tear the roof off, you have to let us out. Tear the roof off? Great idea. Wait, no, that's not what I. Romans. Chinese. Ending human sacrifice. Alexei Petrovic. I love you dad. Peter the Great. Gay. War. Porn. Miners lying about their rage to gain access. Aliens observing the Earth. Circa 1810. Why does Kamehameha, the largest Earth monarch, not simply eat the others? Europe. The war is over. May 8th is Victory Day. When you control half of the world, but still lose Florida to British in 1763. Wanna see us invade neutral Iran and cause mass civilian deaths? Wanna see us do it again? I don't care what your insane Netflix Afrocentrist grandma told you. Cleopatra was Greek. People living in the Danube regions in 562 being invaded by the Avars. What are you doing, stepbro? King. So we won a great war. Now, can someone tell me why are we in a massive debt and instability instead of celebrating a victory? The financial secretaries. Listen here, you little shit. Alexander Hamilton and Congress. George Washington. No, please. I don't want to be president. George Washington. John Adams. I want to farm. Inside you there are 2 wolves. Medieval Europe was a holy paradise. Medieval Europe was a miserable shithole. Both are stupid. Zhang Zulian. Naukith. Boston. Hang the redcoats. They massacred our people. John Adams. That wasn't very due process of you. Nero was a bad emperor. No, it's just a smear campaign by Tacitus and Suetonius. Most of what he's accused of is at best hearsay and the public loved him. Nero was a bad emperor. FBI. I ducking hate you and hope you die. Richard Jewell. I like being a security guard at the Olympics. When you ask Western country why some countries that they bombed hate them, They hate us cause they ain't us. Pass me that brick. Taliban suspends chess over gambling concerns. Being a history/flag/war enthusiast has two sides. Yay. Flags. Countries. Yeah, history. How many have died for pointless squibbles? Isaac Newton. 16th century Europeans. An object not in motion will remain motionless unless acted upon by a force. Yeah, that makes sense. An object in motion will stay in motion until acted upon by a force. What the duck? Most insane events in history make a lot more sense when you realize that they were done by people with lead poisoning and severe childhood trauma. Skeletor will come back next week with more disturbing facts. The Americans hoping to take Quebec City. Guy Carlton, who allegedly sent all the sick prostitutes to the American camp so the soldiers would get smallpox. Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill. Wow, that was a big mistake. Robert E. Lee. Dogs then loved Jesus, fought in battles, feared nothing. Dogs now scared of fireworks. Boston Tea Party, making a violent seizing of the tea and throwing them all into the sea. Charleston Tea Party did not do shit for 20 days, still took the tea and stored them all. The Mongol armies in Europe in 1241. Alright, I'ma head out. Promise me, as my dying wish, you two shall be harmonious with each other, and you shall wipe out all the Caledonians, down to the last baby. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. Already making a mental checklist of it. Ottomans. No, you don't understand. The Armenians are all troublemakers. That's why we have to kill all of the men, women, and children. King Hassim bin Ali. We specifically bring to the world's condemnation the atrocities committed against the Greeks and Armenians. Atrocities that our holy law can only disapprove of. Hello, fellow anti-annexationist. I believe the Philippines deserve self-determination. Why do you oppose its conquest? Simple, it is a witch's cauldron. I'm sorry, what? The Filipinos are spotted and have stripes like a zebra. I'm sorry, what? Rabbits. 1218. Walked upright. Heavily armed. Severe, no-nonsense attitude. Kidnapped passers-by for slavery or ransom. 2018. Sneak about on all fours. Unarmed. Timid. Groveling attitude. Live in cages. Eat grass and carrots. Why are you black? Oh my god, Caesar. You can't just ask someone why they are black. The South African police with a live bomb that will explode at any moment. Military policeman FP Stevens, who has zero training in bomb defusal. We loved Chinese so much we decided to make our own. Turns out learning Chinese is hard, so we made a writing system that's easier to learn. Some girls decided to make a new writing system and we just kinda went with it. Genghis Khan was such a cool leader, never losing a battle despite overwhelming odds. He burned and destroyed forts, towns and churches. He fought to remove a world's laws in favor of God's law. He massacred and burned people. He burned so many people. I fear no man. It scares me. How crazy leftists always call everything CIA propaganda. Worldwide propaganda network built and controlled by the CIA. They literally admit what we say in their own declassified documents. People attributing Napoleon's downfall to the Russian winter, the British and Spanish, the British, Spanish and Portuguese forces, the British, Spanish and Portuguese forces who Napoleon himself attributed his downfall to. It was the Spanish ulcer which ruined me. 1945. For the official surrender we invited the French. The French? Yeah, their troops proved to be reliable, so we invited them. So can you make a French flag? Red, white, blue. Red, white, blue da. Later. Die Nederland. Neat. It's summer. They invented, which they used to talk about, They had a lot of fun. European affairs during 1845 to 1851. England. The Ottoman Empire for some reason. Ireland. This has always bugged me. Who is copying who here? There is an unlimited number of colors and designs and you both chose the exact same thing. It's just pure laziness. We both had eagles, but Italians lost theirs in Germania. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage to Mecca. End of the Memellion Empire's golden era. Enough with zodiac signs, which night order you supporting? Holy Sepulchre. St. John Hospitallers. Templars. St. James of the Sword. Teutonic Knights. Actually, the Civil War was about states' rights, not slavery. Have you read the Constitution of the Confederacy? King Charlemagne. If you don't like getting your head chopped off, you should try Christianity. 1944. Adolf Hitler will never be the chairman of NATO. He's Hitler's chief of staff. 1961. Middle East when Mongols arrived. Peninsular Arabs. No grass? It was better long ago, complains modern man who imagines he would be a nobleman war hero, but most certainly would be a poor peasant conscript on the receiving end of a gothic charge. Some dumbass kid poking his eye out with a stitching tool. A system being created allowing blind people to read effectively. This photo of Stalin with his daughter and some of his staff couldn't have aged that poorly. The photo in question. British sailors. Admiral Juice. A recently shot down Japanese pilot who bailed out. An angry Japanese mob mistaking him for an American. Jacques Ducroux at the French Assembly in 1953. I did like so much thing for France during the occupation. You guys wouldn't get it. Yeah sure. Jacques Ducroux in 1942. Come on, removal of the Jewish filth from our new office. Our political party need it. If you feel you have lost faith in humanity, just remember how these guys celebrated Christmas in the First World War. Vladimir the Great. The Muslims promise 70 fair women in heaven. Yeah, but no alcohol, bro. I can't wait to learn more about post-colonial African history. Random general takes power, becomes a dictator and kills 100,000 people, gets assassinated and replaced by another violent general who kills twice the amount of people. How most Hawaiians treat foreigners now. Hawaiians with the first foreigner they ever met. Time traveler moves a chair the timeline. Dracula. The cooler Dracula. France. I can explain. You are equipping your troops with gas masks, while we can only afford helmets. One half of the Russian army. Helmets. We are only getting rifles. The other one half of the Russian army. You guys are getting rifles? Feeling depressed? Without purpose? Need to reflect on your feelings? Do what men have always done. Join the French Foreign Legion. When you killed so many Soviet soldiers that they placed a bounty on your head. Skill issue. Scotland. After bankrupting themselves trying to make colonies, joining together with England, and then becoming a disproportionately large contributor to their colonization efforts. How do you do, fellow oppressed victims of the English? If there is ever another war in Europe, it will come out of some damned silly thing in the Balkans. Otto von Bismarck 1815 to 1598. Serbs in 1914. Serbs in 1992. Academics speculating wildly on the whereabouts of Hitler's secretary Martin Bormann for decades, including theorizing that he escaped to South America. Bormann's body being found in 1970 to less than a mile from the Führer bunker. A single death is a tragedy, a million deaths is a statistic. Joseph Stalin. Genghis Khan to 11% of world population. I'm gonna do what's called a 40 statistics. San Marino is the only true successor to the Roman Empire. Change my mind. Germany, politely asking Mexico to invade the US. Mexican officials. Germany, being dead serious. Operation Praying Mantis, the 18th of April 1988. US losses and casualties. The Sami B hits a naval mine but survives. Iranian losses and casualties. Half of their navy. 2 oil platforms. A strike aircraft. 56 personnel lost. Roman horse. Medieval horse. Roman citizens. The world is dark. We are abused by tyrannical emperors with no prospect of ever advancing in society. We lack liberty. We lack happiness. Oh my god, bread and games. Khmer Rouge invading Vietnam, murdering thousands of people, and then trying to fight in open battle. Vietnam steamrolling the Khmer Rouge all the way to Thailand within a month. International community. Henry George. Why does poverty persist and even worsen despite economic and technological progress? There must be 3 factors of pro. He was asking too many questions. Prostitutes during American Civil War. Profit in some ways in the army of either the Union or the Confederate. Prostitutes specifically when they heard James Hooker is leading the Union's army. I have 2 sides. Primary building material for castle circa 950 AD. I'm almost out of fuel. How am I going to finish the war? Unless. Give it to me straight. Doctor, well, this ailment is so rare we are going to name it after you. Laugerig. I have to go. Thanks for the kennel. Wait a minute. A thick German accent. Tall and a menacing look. I think I already seen his face when I served in 1944. He is without a doubt just a normal German tourist. 1 week later. Wait a minute. Generals who've been fighting nomads since they were kids. They are retreating. Chase them. Alexander the Great, the first time he faced nomads. If they fake a retreat, we shall fake a pursuit. Not an actual count. Ancient history enjoyers now. After 50 hours, I have finally restored the Roman Empire in CK2. Ancient history enjoyers then. British aristocrats. Greek independence fighters. In ancient Greek. Let me not then die ingloriously and without a struggle, but let me first do some great thing that shall be told among men hereafter. Homer. What language is that? People who like KOKO. People who like Liu Berry. He's nice. Adolf Hitler. Benito Mussolini. Francisco Franco. Oswald Mosley. Dear Belarusians. Thank you for choosing me as president. I will bring peace and prosperity to our country. So Belarus will finally become a democratic and European country, right? A democratic and European country, right? What about our breakfast? You had breakfast before takeoff. Yes. Takeoff from London at 9 AM GMT. But what about our after landing breakfast? Land at New York City at 8 AM EST. Don't worry, comrade from the West, we are just building a small decorative wall. Why is it that every time I look up something about this show I get the most insane details about the actors Shrek lives? Adam West and Frank Gorshin were once kicked out of an orgy because they refused to break character as Batman and the Riddler. New York City, 1895. Was that a prostitute? Just a pat down, hee hee. Are you asleep on your job? Honk me 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 me. This is not your watch. Yes it is. It isn't. Explain yourself. Please don't punish me. Look at all my sad kids. Not his kids. Aristocracy in concept. We shall entrust the most respected and qualified citizens with the burden of guiding the state. Aristocracy in reality. My blood, wheeze, is very pure. You can't have a nation, woman, African American, or Russian as a lead in your show. Gene Roddenberry. No. But I can cancel your show. I don't care. That doesn't make any sense. Too bad. Greece. Iran. Culturally influencing hundreds of other countries and empires throughout history. Different pagans discussing religion. This is Mithra, the divinity of justice. I like him. I'm gonna add him to my belief system. Different Christians discussing religion. The Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son. No. It proceeds just from the father. You heretic. You're the heretic. And your hat is stupid. No, your hat is stupid, you heretic. You're excommunicated. You're excommunicated. But Mayor, we really want to work together with you. Why? Yeah, why? The origin of tea according to the Japanese. The origin of tea according to the Chinese. US government health agencies, early 1980s. There's something new going around. It's probably some kind of virus. It looks like a human version of feline leukemia, and it's spreading like hepatitis B. There's still a lot we don't know. We need funding for epidemiology, virology, retrovirology, public health, probably Shrek's education, PPE for healthcare workers. Why should we care? Who is this disease affecting? Weird perverts. Filthy whores. Gross addicts. Okay, here's $100,000. Oh my god, we are going to need so much more than that. This is a pretty niche issue. People are already dying. These are young, previously healthy people. And these deaths are horrible. It's not really a threat to the mainstream population, is it? Point of view. You're a baker in Germany in 1921 and a customer is about to purchase a slice of bread. When a male historical figure never married. Historians. He was a closeted homosexual. 19th century factory employees trying to finish their 16-hour shift. The factory's clock being slowed down by the owner. Spain after stealing billions of dollars worth of silver and gold from South America, they still broke as duck somehow. Switzerland watching the horrors of the world wars. Romans and their dogs, welcome to your new family. 15 years later, I'm in tears while carrying you to your last resting place. People today, I'm so sick of living in historically interesting times. People born in the early 1900s turning 60. I'm tired, boss. We are the superior race. Our armies will destroy you. You are literally getting beaten by an alcoholic, a Slav, and a cripple. Be me. Robert E. Lee. Order attack uphill. Heavily fortified. Libtard Longstreet tells me to not do it. Do it anyway. My face when they all die. Anons did I mess up? Why did Rome fall? I'm glad you asked. Would you like to buy Apple stock? Could you help us dig Genghis Khan's tomb? The revolutions of 1848. America inventing Wisconsin. Europe when Charles II dies childless. Now it's everyone's problem. Stalin after getting an 11-minute standing ovation. They love me. Studying World War II post 1941. How the hell did the Axis get into this duct of a position? How the hell did the Axis survive as long as they did in this duct of a position? When Aphrodite learns the truth of her creation. Please say psych. Europeans finally give you independence. Any African country. They give you some of the worst borders ever conceived. Any African country. North Korea after banning Chinese words. Me think, why waste time say a lot word when few word do trick. Switching between multiple work apps all day. Boss asks for a specific file you worked on months ago. Civilization. Australia. Lack of domesticable plants and animals. I'm an air fan. Oh yeah. Name 11 Eastern Roman emperors. Constantine. That's on me. I set the bar too low. Richard Burton becomes the first infidel to visit Mecca. Circa 1853 colorized. How do you do, fellow pilgrims? Italy. You start with much more troops than Greece. Surely this offensive will be successful, right? Italy. No. History nerds. Me. When history is being written around them. Abbasids. Anyone can recognize our divine authority by our holy cube. What cube? Frederick the Great. Doubled the size of his kingdom, was religiously tolerant, fought with his troops on the front line, improved agriculture, and made Berlin into a cultural center. Maria the Sa lost her richest territory, persecuted non-Catholics, fought her wars from a palace, supported torture, and was a bad mom. Quadripeace delegation explaining why the Romans were the aggressors in the war. Emperor Valentinian getting so angry he has a brain aneurysm and dies. Brazilians waking up March 16th, 1990 discovering that they are now bankrupt by presidential decree. It's called the First Anglo-Afghan War. It was so botched that everyone died. The end. Receive wooden horse. Don't look inside. Successfully conquer China. Double its traditional territory. Get absorbed and lose your identity. Get absorbed and lose your identity. Longbow fan. New. Real archery takes a lifetime of training to truly master. Crossbow enjoyer. Bro, you got nailed by a peasant who first picked up a crossbow last Wednesday. I guess we join canoes now. When you created the legendary Caesar salad in 1924, but many people think that the salad was named after Roman general and statesman Julius Caesar. Caesar Cardini, 1896 to 1956, an Italian restaurateur, chef, and hotel owner. New Gnostic Christian learning about the demiurge. I know this sounds crazy, but I think we're in the bad place. Vietnam after winning 2 wars against USA and China, then invading Cambodia to end the genocide. I'm not in danger. I'm the danger. Get a cool ass nickname The Witcher. Everyone thinks you are magic. Declare war on Novgorod and Kiev to establish Polotsk as a regional power. You successfully conquer Novgorod and go south next. You lost the battle and got captured by Kievan princes during peace talks. Year later, Kiev citizens overthrow the princes and establish you as a new prince of Rus. Eurovision 1974, Italy. Yes, I softly said yes to feel an emotion that I've never had before. Yes, I said yes to love. The Netherlands. We ducking love drugs LMAO. Which message will resonate with voters? I meet a girl. We start talking. She realizes I'm Belisarius. She leaves. The primitive man. I have superior instincts to identify dangerous predators with just one glance. The modern man. If friend-shaped, then is friend. The judging emperor announces his intention to seclude himself for several years to pursue immortality. A court official says this is nonsense and gets tortured to death. Will pursue immortality. Hi. This is nonsense. This is Jack the Ripper's identity solved with DNA. Sheen. This is the 7th year in a row you've shown the exact same mitochondrial DNA test results shared by millions. Falls off his horse. Don't write that down in the record. Korean historian. King Taejong fell from his horse. He then asked not to be recorded in the record. You know, my army could totally defeat yours and conquer your country. Dude, what? Ever heard of dark humor, buddy? It's said that Newton, upon reflection of his financial misadventure, ruefully remarked, I can calculate the movement of stars, but not the madness of men. When you accidentally cause a massive famine. Lemao. What is your superpowers again? I'm rich. Find some exiled Iron Guard members. Parachute them back to Romania to aid the rebels against the communists. They help the communists crush the rebellion instead. Battle of Firaz. All those years wasted, fighting each other. Roman. To have a precious few of them back. Dad creating the Inferno book after seeing the institutions that God gave to the humans to serve humanity well, only for it to be defiled by corruption. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture. Your God is terrible. No, yours is. Zeus is a piece of shit. Yes. When Europeans say everything good has come out of revolutions, but you are a nation. When your French girlfriend asks you to treat her like a queen. The Malaysian Federation to Singapore on August 9, 1965. Get out. Shut up. My dad works for the and can get your entire neighborhood addicted to opium. Sigmund Freud when a time traveler shows him how he's viewed in the 21st century. Morocco who decided not to screw with the US boats watching their Barbary neighbors get blown to high hell for doing the exact opposite. Machiavelli according to his reputation. Machiavelli in real life. The Huns, who conquered and sacked many cities, wanted to attack Rome. After their leader Attila met Pope Leo the Great they retreated instead. Enough of this nonsense. Go home. Alright.